Hello everyone, this is Ibrahim. It has been a while since my last video, so hopefully this time around we'll get to do some interesting stuff. So we're still doing Python stuff. We'll get to do them in a separate set of videos, but in this set of videos we are going to do something a little bit different. So we will dive in a bit to mobile development and precisely. So I've actually worked with React Native, Ionic. Well, I tried off Ionic. I didn't really like it much. Just a preference. I don't feel like it gives you much control. It might be easy to get like a prototype and running as quickly as possible, but and then I started to mess with React Native. Didn't like it much. It's pretty messy, especially when you get to do this state preservation stuff, radix and stuff. And then Flutter came. So in this set of videos, we will be working with Flutter. So we will get to, I'll have a set of series of videos. Like the way I think the best way to learn this is by practicing it and actually implementing stuff. So let's begin. Enough of the talk. I've already wasted like a few minutes talking, but anyways, it's a good to introduce everything. So learning Flutter, the very first step is knowing what to do. So I think like if we can develop something that really helps humanity in general, would be a nice thing to do. Like a good motive to um, get. And rather than developing like a random idea or random project that everyone else has done, I think it's better to do something different and useful to everyone. So I'm thinking of blood donation app. So you got people in need of certain blood type, and then you get people who are willing to donate. You just connect these two together through our app. So the very first step is designing how the app looks like. We can start that by starting off with the design, sketching it. So it's a really good idea in designing in general. I'm not a designer, but I've got to pick up some tips along the way. So the very first basic idea is to develop in gray color. So gray and white, different shades of gray and white. That's it. Don't consider colors yet. You just see how it looks like. So that this basically gives emphasis to the text and what's really important in your application. As always, so I have what you're seeing here is Figma, the program Figma. This is what we are going to design. So you log in, it's free. And then this is what you get to see. We start off with this screen, so you just click on this one here, and then you got different designs, Android, whatever. So I'm just gonna go with, I don't know, maybe iPhone Plus, 8 Plus. Just feel like it might be nice to start off with this one. You can choose whatever, but I'll pause the video now, and then I'll let you do the screens on your own. I'll do them. I don't have to do them on camera. Sorry, on recording, but generally speaking, so the first thing I'm guessing we'll have some sort of an onboarding screen, so sort of an introduction to the app. Like you have to onboard users, like have them excited, intrigue them or trigger them. I'm not sure which term to use here, but yeah. If you don't have ideas, Google is always your savior, or start page, whichever you like to use, because privacy. If you're concerned about privacy, you can just go for start page and search for mobile onboarding screens, and you got different styles, different designs, different ideas you can get ideas from. And I think this is generally a common onboarding screen. You have like these circles at the very bottom, and then you have an indicator to move to the next page, or maybe something like an rectangle, so the general idea, the common thing here is that you see there's an image here, some text, indicator, which an onboarding screen you're at, and a button. So let's do that. Just get this out of the way. And then we are going to start with an image. Let's have a rectangle right about here, just like that. And I think this is a good decent size. So this will host an image as well as So there we go. So some sort of an image. This is center. Good. And then we'd have some indications. So we go with ellipse. We would have some sort of an indication here, and then the other one would be here, and then the other one would be here. We select all of them, we center them to the page. Then we could have this being probably white with a border. So we could have border, drop shadow, no need, ignore this. So that's a border for you. Well, it's not really pretty. We decided to go only for gray, right? So we are going to go for gray, and the same applies. So we just could copy and paste this one here. We don't have to bother about anything else. There we go. So this is one. Then we are missing a button. A button could be, you know, just a rectangle with a little bit of rounding. Center it like that, and then we could have a little bit of rounding to the button, maybe 3. Yeah, 3 is pretty good. It just seems to be off. Yeah, this is a center. Then text that says next. We could, I mean, yeah, I think we should increase. I'm not sure if we have. Okay, we could leave this one as is. We could decide on the fonts later, as you see fit. So here we are. Again, it's only gray colors. How about this or this? Maybe white is good. Center it somewhere. Come on. We want to center it to the other ones. Whatever. It's good. Yeah, I think it's good. So, and then you just do this. I mean, to do another screen, you just have to go for maybe an iPhone 8 or I plus whatever, pick whatever. So, and then you just do the same. Like, just make sure that each screen, each this sign here represents a screen, so each screen has its own components right below it. And again, keep the colors in gray and white. So don't go for any other color just yet, okay? And then you just copy this and then highlight this one to gray. And then I'll just pause the video here and finish the rest of the screens. And then just to give you an idea, and then you could do this in your own. I mean, you could just you could do the screens, the onboarding screens here, and then the next step would be, so just to give you like a text, like in general, let's fire up Paint. Let's fire up Paint just to give you an idea on what I'm expecting. So it would go like this would be an on screen. Sorry for the, you got an onboarding here and then a button here, and then this moves to the second screen, which is at the second onboarding. We got 2, and then step 3. We could stick it at 3, and that's about it. So these are the onboarding screens. The next step would be, the moment the user logs in, we get to have a choice. Like, would they want to donate, or request? Let's have this RE, a screen with just 2 buttons, either donation or request blood. If they go to donation, we will have them choose their blood type, and then we will get to show them a list of possible recipients they could donate to. Supported blood group, given the support blood group, of course. So with that in mind, let's okay, so I'll just pause the video here, and then I just have the screens implemented, and then I'll get right back to you. Right, so we're back again. So these are the screens. So I've named these designs blood bank mark, and then we have, so I went with iPhone SE screens. I just think they look nice is all. Anyways, so I've said everything. I've said the namings. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So going through the steps, we have these set of screens. You get the first screen highlighted, and so on. So basically, again, I stuck to, initially I said only the colors gray and white, and then I just thought maybe just choose the black color, it gives more emphasis. to whatever it is. So this dark color really stands out, and if I set it white, it doesn't really look, it looks really pale. The design looked ugly, so I just had to change it to black. It's not like you have to, it just like looks better to stick to, black, gray, white. My bad when I said earlier to just stick to gray and white. Anyways, whatever. We make mistakes along the way, we learn, whatever. Anyway, so this is the first screen. You move on to the second screen. So one blood donation can save 3 lives. Blood type always highly demanded. So these are actual facts, by the way. I googled them. A single car accident might consume 100 pints of blood. So when you donate, you generally a single pint of blood. That's the norm. Like in the whole year, you'll probably donate 3 pints in the whole year. Anyway, so when you finish the onboarding, get started, and then you'll be presented with 2 screens here. We could just combine them in one. It just felt like fancy, and have 2 screens. It might just, I thought maybe any one of these could work as as the second screen. Like if you ever donated blood, how often are you willing to do it in a year? I don't know. It's just like a survey, maybe. How do you want to start using the app? Like I was thinking maybe we could opt for this, and then I just decided we could just opt for this. We can just delete this one. I mean, we don't have to really collect information from the user at this point in time. So this is a charity app, and we're not concerned about. I don't know. Maybe this could be useful. Anyways, we could just remove this. Just ignore this one for now. We just have it just in case. It just looks nice. And then, if you are at this stage, if you chose donate, you'll come to these set of screens. This is the first screen. This should be a slider. You get to choose like the blood type, which blood type you have, and then you get to see the supported blood types here. And then you click on continue. You get to see the second screen. You'll be presented with a badge. There's a badge here, basically a gamification of some sort of gamification. So this badge represents how often you donated. So you're a donor, single star. The more you donate, you'll have more stars, whatever. And then these are the set of people you can donate to. See, you got the name, the age, the condition the person is in, and then this, the circular kind of style shows this person's blood type, group, and the number of pins they require. So how much of the pins he's collected. So probably this guy has half his pins donated, and he still needs half of the rest. And then this is basically a scrollable list. You can go from here to the request. You'll see the request later. When you click on each of these cards, you get to see their profile. So this is the name, the age, and then you get to see some information about this guy. And you get to see more details. This is the number of pins requested to the pins donated to. Blood type, group, condition, and the hospital name. If you notice, here this is a progress bar, this is a progress bar. And you've also noticed the condition is always present. Anyways, so the second step, if you click on request, you'll be taken here. If you're requesting, you'll be requested the name of the request, the date of birth, whether you're male or female, gender, condition, and then you click on continue. You come to the next step, which is you get to choose your blood type and the hospital or the center you request donations to. You click on continue. You'll be presented with a third screen, just general contact information with the story. And of course, when you click on finish, this is what you get to see, the number of open requests you have. And if you click on it, you'll be just presented with this screen to see how much of the pins. So these 3 screens are basically the same, so we are going to save time developing these 2. So that's that. So this is the screens. These are the screens, and we can opt for, we could start developing these screens, or we could just go with the colors. Like we could opt for simple coloring. I think the best color to choose is probably reddish. I'll pause the video again and do the colors for these screens, and I'll be back. We are back. So I've already said this, duplicated the screen and just named this blood bank colored. Anyway, so I just chose this color here and its gradients for the general theme of the application. So this is how it generally looks like. So not too much colors, nothing fancy. And of course, you may notice here that we don't really have a login screen, so we will be developing this on the next phase. We will have it basically when you finish the onboarding. This is when this should be the login screen. So we can name this like we can set this to be called login instead of this. This should be the login screen. Basic, you know, two input buttons and then login, and that's about it. Okay, so this is the first video. On the next video, we'll get to coding. We will start off with VS Code and Flutter, and we will get some action going. And this is really crucial step to really fully understand what the app is going to deliver. And it's really, really important to have this visualized in your head so that you know exactly what you should be doing. And notice that this probably is the hardest step. Like, really, this is probably the hardest step. Coding it and transforming it to an actual app is not really that difficult compared to like actually developing the design and really understanding what the app is going to deliver. Okay, so the next video. Alright, so see you in the next video, and we will be talking about on how to get this actual, on how to transform this to actual code and actually start developing it. Alright, see you in the next video then. Cheers.